Há pessoas que nos inspiram, há aquelas que nos divertem e há outras que são muito boas naquilo que fazem. Aquelas que conseguem as três são convidados no A Cumbersa com. Olá e bem-vindos a mais um A Cumbersa com, o único podcast que tem vários erros gramaticais só para termos a certeza que é de propósito. E hoje estou com o meu bom amigo Elad. O Elad Dror é... E ele vai já dizer o que é, porque ele tem tantas coisas diferentes a acontecer que eu acho que é melhor ele depois dizer o que é. Mas vamos conhecê-lo um bocadinho. Este vai ser o primeiro A Conversa em inglês, portanto, it's going to be a talk in English. Elad speaks very well Portuguese, much better than you might think, but for the conversation to be engaging and more fully engaging, we're going to do it in more fluid, we're going to do it in English. First of all, thank you.
Welcome.
Yeah, to make the time to receive me here. I know that you are a very, very, very busy man.
You are always welcome.
Yeah, and I know Elad. What, 5 years ago that we met first time, maybe
almost 6.
Almost 6, yeah, almost 6, because our girls were in the same school, and we met there, and I was far from imagining that we would be friends and that we would be having this continued. Our girls are not in school anymore, but we still communicate and contact, and I'm very happy to see that your success is building here in Portugal. Do you want to talk a bit about how you started, how Portugal came about, why Portugal, and all of that?
Yeah, actually we used to live in Spain.
Yes.
So we used to live in La Coruña, and I used to have some small point of sales in shopping centers.
Okay.
I did it from the moment that I left Israel in the age of 22, so like 21 years ago. Okay. I did it in many countries, in the US, then in England, then in Spain, in Belgium, in many countries. I had this point of sale selling cosmetics and remote control toys. Yeah. And one time I came to Porto and I entered to the shopping center and I saw so many people there and nobody selling nothing. So I said, well, it's an opportunity. And I used to live in La Coruña at that time, so I came and I spoke to the shopping center manager and I told her how many shopping centers you have. And she told me 10. That was Dolce Vita.
Yeah.
So I told her, I'm taking all of them. I didn't see them, so some of them wasn't amazing, but yeah. I just took them because I knew I will make good, because nobody did what I did. Yeah. So I came and I opened in Christmas time small shopping centers, small point of sale that sells remote control toys. In the middle. Yeah. So that's something that I used to do very good, and it make you immediate profit, immediate money. It was very nice, very cool. And so we did it like repeatedly. At the first year we did 10. It was nice. It was good.
Just for the holidays.
Just for the holiday. Okay. And then we also sold cosmetics, Dead Sea products for the whole year. Yeah. It was okay. Portugal wasn't the US, but it was nice. The toys were very successful. Actually, it was selling a lot and it was crazy. So the year later, we did it in summer in 17 spots. Yeah. And in the next Christmas, we already did it in 4 countries in 36 spots. Yeah. So we did it here, we did it in Spain, we did it in the US, in Poland. Yes. So we just opened all over the place and we used to bring our brand. But then I was getting sick and tired of this instability. You know, you make a lot of money in Christmas, you make a lot of money in summer, but then all year round you burn the money. Yeah. So we needed something that is solid, that is giving you more passive, even though it's operational, so it's not pure passive. But I wanted to have some stability. So we said, let's open point of sales which are around the year. So we did it with mobile accessories and we opened the brand SmartTalk. We did it in 2012. We actually sold it 2 weeks ago to La Casa de Carcasas. Yeah, great. So they bought it and now they're going to continue the business. So it was 10 years, more than 10, almost 11 years that we ran this business. It was quite well. We reached at the peak more than 25 locations.
Yeah, so
and we had
it was smartphone covers and
all the accessories on the mobiles. Yeah. And then, that was 2012. We opened that business. I was doing business in other countries. I wasn't living here. I was flying all the way. And in 2014, I started the real estate. I took the money from the retail, and I started to buy some plot here, I invested in that building over there because I saw that Porto was very undeveloped and real estate was very cheap comparing to where I come from.
To the big cities in Europe.
Of course, and comparing to Israel, it's like buying, it's nothing. It was ridiculous. Today, it's expensive, but still not in that levels, Yeah. So actually, I started to look around in 2012 already for real estate, but I didn't have any access to money, to real money. So in 2014, we took a loan actually from the retail, and we bought a plot in Espinho, our first plot that we bought, alongside with other small investment that we did in the center of Porto, and that was amazing. That was a really good investment because we took money, from one business, and we diversified with another one, and that gives you a lot of edge because sometimes many entrepreneurs invest everything they have in their own business.
Yeah.
And if their own business is failing, if the market is wrong, if they are wrong,
no fallback.
Exactly, it's all the eggs in one basket.
The portfolio.
Exactly. So it was the beginning of diversification.
Yeah.
So we did that, and then I brought my partner, which is Nir. It's an Israeli guy. Yeah. We also have a family connection, and he was very connected to people in Israel. He was Ministry of Communication, he was a politician, he knows everyone. I didn't know no one, but I needed the access to someone that knows everyone. So I told him, come, you got to see what's happening over here. So he told me how much I need to invest. I told him, you don't need to invest, just you need to come, I need your mind, I don't need your money. Yeah. So he came, he saw, and then from the moment he came, actually every week he came with people. Every 2 weeks he came with people, and he started to bring, friends and family. Then the other circle, then the other circle. Yeah. One led to another, and that was 2014, 2015, and we started FORTERA. And FORTERA, we started at the beginning buying small things, small building for renovation, 300, 500,000. Then one investor was happy, he brought another guy, which is very big, and he said, we are looking to open hotels, and that's already a public traded company. So things led to another. Yeah. And people were, we had a good name, good reputation, people liked to work with us, they could trust us.
Yes, that's very important.
That's crucial. That's crucial. That's crucial. That's crucial. So many people are doing an amazing Excels, amazing business plans, amazing whatever, but if the people are wrong, start with the people. Also, when you do investments, start with the people. If the people are wrong, no Excel can overcome it, But if things go out of control and you have good people, there is a way to overcome many of the obstacles that you can have in a business, and you have them by the day. So he came, and he has a good name, and we have a good name. So people came, and then it got bigger and bigger and bigger.
And those investors are already from Portugal, or
no. All of them from Israel. From Israel. Okay. So those are companies and people that wanted to diversify and to have another opening to another market. Portugal became very interesting in the map, and until a year ago, with all the interest rate was zero around the world, so people really needed to find ways to invest. Real estate is always a good channel, always solid, always resilient. So people came, and we were like the local partner, Yeah. So you have someone, you need someone you can speak even in the same language is an advantage. Someone that already has an operation. We built a whole operation here. So FORTERA has all the infrastructure to give support, architects, engineers, licensing, sales, finance.
And the Israeli community is very tight. From what I saw when I was when you invited me to your home, and when I was in your get-togethers, so to speak, everybody seems very friendly, very in touch, very connected.
We are very open people, and we have our culture, so it's very easy to interact. Same thing if you would go to Switzerland or to Luxembourg tomorrow, you would find your Portuguese community, and then obviously, so people go to that comfort zone. Yeah. Makes sense, we have the same thing, we can speak about the same thing, we have our culture, we can eat trina and hummus together, even though you can do it with a good Portuguese friend for sure. So, I know. So, you know, it's important. It's important to have that people, that trust, that you can speak if there is a problem. You know, you're not alone in a country that you don't know the regulation, you don't know the language, you don't know nothing. So that was good. And fast forwarding, we pretty fast we escalated because we diversified also within the group. Since we are not, it's not a single source of funds that comes from a single investor, and it's not a single direction that we go. We are not only in the residential. So we found ourselves very quickly opening up few fronts of the real estate area. So today we have more than 1,000 apartments which are under construction in different pipeline, in different moments. Some of them are already ongoing, some of them in licensing phases. We were very concentrated in the north because we wanted to keep, you know, management very close. You know, we are speaking now, we are in Gaia. We moved to Gaia because we are heavily invested in Gaia. So I have from my window, I can see the next construction. We bought that office building because there was no office available. So we bought that office, that building. And so we wanted to be close to the business, you know, and we were not all over the country, but we have different segments within FORTERA. So more than 1,000 apartments, more than 800 keys of hotels under different phases, some of them already in construction.
And you are managing also one of them, right?
No, we are not going to manage. What we are doing is that we consider that as a pure real estate. So we're building, we find the tenant, the one that's going to lease, and basically we are sending and shifting that away for the next 15, 20 years by lease agreements. We are not an operational.
You don't do the managing of the hotel.
Preferably not. We don't want to be in the management level.
Yeah, because I saw a post of you from Espinho, or from an hotel in Espinho, that I thought that you got the operational management of that hotel.
No. What we did is more related here to Gaia, where we are building an amazing boutique hotel next to the bridge. So over there we brought the management company, which is going to lease it basically for the next 15 years. So that is what we do.
And it's the same one from the hotel in Espinho?
Yeah.
It's the same. Okay, perfect.
And in parallel, so the company grew a lot, and in parallel the retail also grew. And we started diversified over there. So we also got the business of Xiaomi, as you know.
Xiaomi stores.
So we started the official. So we started all the Mi stores in the country. So we have today 19 spots. We are actually the only official seller of Xiaomi. And we also brought Miniso to the country, which is a lifestyle brand. And very recently we brought Max, which is a huge discount stores from Israel, and we already have few locations that are already signed, and we are going to open very soon. It's going to be very interesting concept that I'm sure that the Portuguese people would like.
To what stores will there be a competition for Max? In what segment? How can I relate to that?
I can tell you, first of all the non-food within the supermarket is very relevant. All the Chinese that you see are very relevant, but the problem is that they don't have any experience, any service, any client experience over there. It's horrible. I mean, nobody likes to go there. You go there because you need to, because you want to buy cheap and you have everything. So Max is all about huge discount stores with a very customer oriented, always keeping a very, very low price for the customer. When I'm saying keeping a very low price, so for example, imagine that you sell a glass and you sell this glass today in 50 cents. But if you find tomorrow a supplier that sell you half of the price, we're going to cut half of the price for the client. It's not going to keep the margin upper.
So it's like an IKEA for electronics.
It's like a Primark, an IKEA, but I would say a Primark, but in the level of everything you need for your house, life. Everything besides food. But it's going to be very nice, and first opening is in Braga. 2,000 square meter store, and those are the sizes of the store, usually between 1,000 to 2,000 square meter. So it's very nice. Nice concept.
So a lot of success happening in the future. And
We
you are
hope.
going to build
We hope.
Yeah, you are going to build the highest tower in the highest. It's going to be apartments or
It's going to be
a mix or
in Gaia. In Gaia, we are doing a mixed-use project,
okay.
which is very big. It's composed from a Congress and multi-expo center. You know,
Okay.
for
That's missing in Gaia.
yeah,
A big expo center.
a big event area. It will be very nice. It will be for 2,500 people sitting.
Yeah.
It's the biggest in the region, and more than 5,000, 6,000 people
Yeah.
standing in a show. So it's very nice. It's the new urban center. Next to it, it will be a biggest tower,
Yeah.
29 stories. It will be a 5-star luxury hotel until the 11th or the 12th floor, and then it's going to be apartments, service apartments, branded residence apartments.
Okay,
So
yeah.
it's something very, very luxurious.
Yeah.
And on the back of it, there is 3 more buildings. So it's a big complex of more than 60,000 square meters.
Okay.
It's huge.
Where it's going to be here in Gaia?
It's behind the municipality, basically.
Okay.
It's General Torres is behind
Yeah. Okay.
behind the city hall, behind the court, the hospital.
The
So
best
it's like
view in the city, right? So
it's gonna be very interesting, and we are also preparing a surprise in the roof, something very New Yorky. So we want to do things which are very surprising and out of the box.
Yes, that's one thing that always has your characteristic is that originality. And I was going up in the elevator, and I'm going to take a picture when I'm going, because up in the elevator there's a sign. We are in the FORTERA Plaza. It's under construction because you are renovating all of it, and
Yeah.
there's a sign in the elevator that says, I'm going to say it in Portuguese.
Yeah.
Lamentamos o incômodo causado pelas obras, mas depois vai acontecer magia. So that type of sign.
Yeah, it's not normal.
Yeah, it's not normal. You see it with a twist, and the project, the Alive project, is, I think it's the most iconic project. It's an apartment, but it's not really just an apartment. So you tend to think of things in a bit of a different manner.
One thing that I can say that I have, I don't know about the other things. I'm not talking about management, not about investment, not about life. One thing that I'm surely know that I have is creativity. When you stop it, you kill me. If you don't give me my wings to fly, I'm out of the business. Where I'm not enjoying, I'm out.
Yeah.
And I gotta bring it to everything, even to the most boring so-called building. It's frustrating for me to see and to do more of the same. I cannot do that. So I gotta find the twist. And in COVID, I saw the way we live, and it hit me. It killed me. I said, I'm living in a building. I'm going in the elevator. My kids don't know those kids in the elevator. Why?
Yeah.
I don't know the neighbors. Why we don't know each other? Maybe I'll know you, and then I know that I don't want to know you, but I need to know that.
Yeah.
And I mean, there is a saying, we always like to say it in Hebrew, and it's very authentic when you live abroad, Yeah. It's better to have a close neighbor than a far brother.
Yeah, we have the same saying in Portugal.
I'm sure. And you have those people in front of you, in the next door. Maybe they need you, maybe you can help them. And you don't have that community. And in Israel, we have those things of kibbutz, which is like a small village. Everybody's working to the same purpose, and they are also sharing economy. I'm not talking about sharing economy. Everybody can do what they do in life. But at the end of the day, we come to this building, we come to this apartment, to the place that we spend most of the time, and nobody can say, how is your building? I want you to react, wow. Nobody say wow on my, okay. I have a nice, when you go into your house, maybe it's a wow, maybe it's nice because you did it, but the building, how is the building? Oh, it's okay.
It's a building.
It's a building. No, I don't want it to be a building. I want you to enter, and I want you to say, wow, I'm having fun here. It's amazing. And so we looked at that from 3 pillars, and we said, okay, the space gotta be a space that support that community. So you gotta have that pit fire to sit around it, and you gotta have that barbecue area, and you gotta have that lounge, and maybe a co-working space, and a gym, and a kids club. inside, outside. So not maybe, this is alive. But the other thing, maybe you go there and I'm not going. Maybe I didn't have the chance. Or maybe 1 year we spent and we didn't know each other. Yeah. So we need to bring a catalysator, something that will bring it, enlight it. Yeah. So we have the technology of alive. So you have an app, you live in this building, you go inside, you log in, you see the chat, you can offer an activity, you can say, tomorrow I'm starting to run at 7 a.m. Who wants to join? You're going to have 5 people. They're going to become a friend. Then you're going to have a beer next to the pit fire. Yeah. And then we want to push it a bit forward because we don't want to be waiting for a coincidence to happen, that maybe you're going to be proactive and you're going to dynamicize all this shit. Mm. So we're saying, let's bring an experienced manager that for 1 year will initiate it. So she's going to say 6 o'clock activity for the kids in the garden. And she's going to be there and she's going to do it for 1 year, something that we give to the community. Yeah. And then she's going to say tomorrow 8 o'clock there is yoga in the garden. So people will very fast know each other. Yes. It can go to sugar, maybe to a parking spot that you need because you don't use, you are not there and somebody needs it for the weekend because they have family coming. Yeah. And it can go all the way to the extreme that tomorrow there's going to be another COVID and we are there for each other.
In the community, yes.
And I think that it's going to be a happy building. And that's what we want to see.
Well, when you were telling me about the concept, it really resonated because when I got divorced 15 years ago from my previous marriage, I went to live in a studio residence. So it's you know studio.
Yeah.
They have it here in Gaia and they have it in Portugal. Yeah. I lived in the one in Porto and I was renting it, and there were a big lounge in the level building. And, well, like all big lounges in the buildings, nobody used it for nothing because
of course, condominium.
Yeah, but the thing is, because the house is so small, it's a zero, right? Like the T0. Yeah. The house is so small that when I have friends coming over and we wanted to play poker in our computer or something like that, we went to the lounge because it's much nicer. They had the sofas. And because we were in the lounge, then other people came and then, oh, you're playing poker. Oh, I play also. And then one guy brought the PlayStation to the zero and connected to the TV in the condominium. And in about 3 months, we were all knowing each other because we were all single or divorced and knowing each other and having beers and going to karaoke and playing PlayStation and poker online. And it was a good community that in a moment where I felt not very happy and it was a turbulent moment in my life, I felt supported and I had a community and I had friends. So it really resonated to me, though, that idea of the building being just more than a building with a condominium room that
nobody uses,
or they use it in a party, something like that, a birthday party.
Of course, and imagine how difficult it is to create a change. Let's imagine that you already live in a building and it has a condominium room. Who will make the investment? Let's make an agreement with 60 people in a condominium meeting to make an investment. For me, it's not relevant. For him, it is. Yeah. For him, it does. It can never happen. Another thing is the millennium generation. Yeah. Already used to that. You cannot give him anything less than that. It would be like selling Nokia 6120. Yeah. It's not relevant. People are going to Selena, they're going to that hotel, to the student, to the social lab. They are expecting vibe. Now they live in this life, they go to student housing, which is amazing, have all the facilities, have all the craziness. Yeah. Then they go in the traveler world and they go to these crazy hostels, generators, Selena, whatever. And then they continue their phase of life and they reach to a building which is a black box boring. Yeah. Said, it's not matching my lifestyle. I want to continue in that level. So I think the people cannot understand in full all the way until they will be physically living in there.
Yeah, of course.
How amazing their lifestyle will be.
Yeah, I think it's going to be completely different, and it's really a good investment, and it's really a smart way to view the next step on doing something that is apartments. So It's how looking at a chicken and say, how can I cook this?
Yeah.
In a different manner, most exciting manner, because it's chicken. It's always going to be chicken, but I can make something great of it.
You know, it's simple, almost as it is simple to do good in this world. It's simple. You just need to want to do good. You just need to want to invest a bit more in the space and not to sell another T1, another T2 in the area where you put the condominium.
Yeah, you told us that creativity is your strong suit. There is a lot of do you see it as a cultural trait, or do you see it as very different from the rest of your culture? Because I know this. I like history, so this I know this a long time ago. But I listened to a podcast from a Portuguese guy, very funny guy, and that has a everyday podcast called "We Are All Going to Die," and every day he says this is the day where somebody died, and that somebody is always famous or infamous for good reasons or bad reasons. And so he talks about a lot of people that started the cinema studios, and the great artists, and the great politicians, and the great people in business, entrepreneurs, etc. And there's a disproportionate amount of excellent, exceptional people that are from Jewish backgrounds, or either they are Jewish or from Jewish families, or Jewish families that went to the United States, immigrants all around. There's, compared to other cultures, there's a disproportionate amount of exceptional people. What do you think? Well, first of all, do you recognize that in any way, or does that sound strange? And what is it in your culture that creates so many more excellent people? It's like Portugal has a disproportionate amount of good football players for the size of it. We have 10 million people, and we have we have Cristiano Ronaldo, of course, but we have a lot of good, amazing, excellent football players.
We don't have that, for example.
Yeah, so in Israel, nobody's
perfect.
Yeah, in Israel,
we don't have it.
I think we would like to have more of less football players and more of
exceptional,
exceptional people and all around. So, but where can you find the cultural trait that makes that happen?
I think it's very simple to understand. First of all, I do recognize that in terms of entrepreneurship, and business and that thing, there is something in the Jewish mind, and to the extent to the Israelis there is a lot. But again, you only hear about the success stories. There are a lot of normal people that are not that and not that.
Yeah, of course, 90%.
Exactly.
Nothing.
It's the 90-10.
10% is disproportionate.
Exactly.
Amounts.
And also disproportion because Israel is a very small country. So then you say, I mean, so many people coming from there, and the Jewish as a whole, I mean, we are not so many. But I think that it's very easy to explain. When you always need to survive, you gain that skills. I mean, unfortunately, if you go throughout history, the Jewish people always had to survive, to be very creative of how they survive. They were always being chased or I don't know, being thrown away. I would say it until we had the Jewish state, and even if we do, we still have the internal argument of what is ours, what is not ours, and it puts you in a constant situation that you need to be very creative and to invent yourself almost daily. And I think that it's a mix of a lot of things. You know, in Israel, first of all, people are working very hard, extremely hard, too much. And many things that I learned when I moved over here that I love this. I love it. First of all, the natural thing, I mean, that on Sunday you don't work. You don't understand the level of that. I mean, Sunday in Israel is the craziest day on earth. It's like the hell break loose. And then here I'm sitting and somebody's calling me and I'm telling you, hey, why are you calling me on my Saturday? Why are you calling me? You don't understand I live in Portugal? Don't call me. And it's amazing. You have an additional day. So it's wonderful. I think that there is so many good things about the way people live here. So calm. I mean, this less stress. You know, we have so much stress in Israel. There is the good side. Everybody is, want to be better. It's very aggressive. It's very competitive. Yeah. You open a business, the day after, if it's successful, you have a neighbor doing the same thing and another one. So you need to be the best. Yeah. You don't have that here because nobody is running after nobody. Because you don't see, I think, as a whole, I think, if that what I saw at least in Portugal, you treat work as a secondary thing. You put life first. And this is beautiful. You don't need to change. I mean, it needs to be balanced. When it's imbalance, it's a problem. Yeah. People need to know more about doing, because it's a beautiful country with so many opportunities that sometimes I hear people, whining about this country, and I'm saying, are we talking about the same place? Because I'm seeing things in a very different optic. Yeah. But it's because I'm coming from different place, you know?
Yeah, but you were talking that we are, our life comes first. But shouldn't you have 5 kids?
Yeah.
Yeah. And you are in the bottom 20% of number of kids from the Israeli families. So 5 is the minimum. You cannot.
It's not the minimum.
You cannot even accent to a position.
It's not the minimum. Depends where you live in Israel. But if you live in certain places, you are like
5. Only 5. What are you doing?
You're not working.
Yeah.
But I'm good. I mean, comparing to all my friends, I'm in the top.
You're in the top 10%.
I'm in the top 10% that is doing more kids.
Because I would think that you will dedicate a lot of time to family, and you do.
I do.
I do notice your relationship with your kids. So you're not off to work from 8 a.m. to 12 a.m.
No.
So you have time with your family, and from what I could gather from speaking to your Israeli friends when we were together and we met, it's a really important thing. So the dinner on Friday, the get together of the family and friends, it's a statement. Having meals together for us Portuguese, having the meal together, it's a thing. We don't either. The family doesn't dine one at 7 and the other at 8. No, it's a thing for us. Yeah. So you seem to be able to manage a really good family connection. Yeah. And a really good focus on being better and working hard and getting things done.
Well, first for me, but talking personally, yes, I know others which are not putting that focus over there, but I didn't do 5 kids just to have a number.
Yeah.
I really dedicate, and I'm trying to balance that. It's a pure. It takes a lot of time, and you know, I'm getting better. I'm trying to get better with that by the day, to balance those things. Because I really see that the balance is a very healthy way to live as an entrepreneur. I mean, if you have too much work, so you lose something in life. If you have too much family, work is not working. So you gotta be everything. I mean, I think that at the end of the day, we all strive toward balance. That's what we're trying to be. At the beginning, we start very, very strong. We escalate on that and we escalate on that. But at the end, everything that is out of balance is probably going to go out of control. So I'm trying to put things in balance and to put the family and to be a good husband and to be with my wife and to dedicate time for this and for that and for this and for that and not this or that.
Yes.
And a lot of people make the choices, or they say, no, I have to do. No, you don't have to do. And if you have to do, you got to ask yourself different questions. What have you done wrong that you cannot afford yourself with all this business, with all this lifestyle, not to have time for your own family, which is the most important thing. So something is wrong with the way you manage your things. So this is where I'm trying to always ask myself the difficult questions and to balance that.
Okay. And what do you think was the important? Can you think about 1 or 2 decisions that were really important in your life that made the difference? Because I've not read your book because it's in Hebrew. And I know 1 or 2 words, but not a lot to read the book. But I know we have been talking, and I know a little bit about your story and how you grew up. And there's a lot of people in Israel, in Portugal, in the United States, and everywhere. There's a lot of people that grew up in hardship, so that they have difficulties when growing up. But not all of them become entrepreneurs. Not all of them take that capital of hardship and turn it into success. What do you think is the difference that you made in your life that could turn that thing into success? Because you could easily, that there's a lot of people that went through the same things that you went through or similar to what you went through, and then they dedicated to crime or to whining or to not caring or to anything else, that not to turning that into strength.
Yeah, I think that there is a certain mind state, I mean, that you live in, and I think that I truly believe in abundance, and I truly believe that that I see what I have. I don't see what I don't have, and a lot of people focus on what they don't have, and what you focus eventually grow, and what will grow is what you don't have. I'm trying to focus on what I have, and when you do that, I'm always giving that example. I'm saying that I said it a lot of time in Hebrew, in many interviews, etc. So I will try to explain it in the same way in English. I think that it's a crucial thing for people's success, and I think that it was one of my keys. Okay, there are two different people. Okay, one person that always see what he has. You see himself as he has. He's living in abundance mind, let's say. Doesn't matter if he doesn't have, but he feels that he has. It's like you say, if you come to my house at Friday, you're always going to see many, many people. We always have a room for another family, and it can go to extreme, 30, 36, 40 people, and we always have a room. You say that if you have a room in your heart, you have a room in your house, right? So, and when it comes to business, when you have that state of mind that you always have, you can look at things and you can always see the opportunity in them, even though they might be, if we're talking about pure financial, they might be away from you. They are out of your league. But in your mindset, you can be there. It's a matter of what do you believe that you have. I see an opportunity, so I'm saying I have an opportunity. If you ask me, do you have the money? I will say, not yet, but I have the opportunity. Not yet. It's only yet. Because if you see the opportunity and you have the will and you have the skill and you've been through things in life, so it's a matter of imagining, right? I have that imagination of, I can do today, I don't need to be a millionaire to feel one. I can imagine if what I'm doing now is one thing and it's good, I can imagine that if I'll do that consistently for another 3, 6 months, 1 year, 2 years, 5 years, I'll end up there. So I'm bringing that mindset from the future to today. I live like that. I don't need to be. And it's very important in your confidence, in the way you run things, in the deals that you go to. And there is those people that they never have. Doesn't matter if they have. They always say, and they say always like that, once I will, I will. Once I will have, I will buy. Once I will do that, I will open. Once I will, but it's a chicken and the egg, If you don't do that, you're not going to have. It's the sort of thing. And I think that I'm always saying that, and I'm trying to be that person. I think that it comes from giving. If you practice giving, you can eventually come to that state of mind. Because when you give, you automatically make a statement in your subconscious that you are able to give. So you are stronger. And when you reach out to lift someone from the floor, your muscle is also getting stronger. So when you do that, you practice in your mind that you have. And when you practice in your mind that you have, you reach an opportunity. And then it's me and you looking at an opportunity. And this opportunity is amazing. Financial, it's amazing. But we are two different people. I'm looking at that and I see what I have. I have an opportunity. I'm saying I'm going. And you living in a place that you will say, once I will have, I will reach to this opportunity. But it's not working like that. This is the kind of thing that I think that I had, is the ability to imagine and to work with what I have.
How did you get it? Because I'm a believer. Well, I'm not sure if we are born in blank slates or if we have something that comes with us. I think that we have something.
Yeah, of course.
Our genetic mindset impression. But how can you get that? Do you remember a time that you didn't have that mindset and that you created that mindset? Do you remember moments, decisions that you went from one place to the other?
Yeah. I'll tell you. It's fake it till you make it. It's fake it till you make it. You gotta try. I'll tell you. When I finished the army, I went to the US and I worked in a shopping center selling cosmetics. Okay, selling something for the nails. Yeah. Okay, so that was my biggest school because I got like 500 no in a single day and 20 yes. I was only focusing on the yes, but it takes time. But you know, one success, one small success, build the other success. You know, so you made that sell, you saw it's possible, and you think about what did you feel at that moment that made that. And I saw that energy, the way I feel, my confidence is so crucial for the success that I cannot afford not having it. So every time that I got no, ma'am, can I ask you a question? No, ma'am, can I ask you a question? No, ma'am, can I ask you a question? No. Yes. Now, if I came to that 10 person after 10 no, and imagine there are two people, right? One person that will say, ma'am, can I ask you a question? No. And he will start saying, ma'am, can I ask you a question? No. It's not my day. I'm not feeling good. Probably my headache. It's not my best day. And he's going to start talking to himself, right? Yeah. And he's going to emphasize that feeling and it's going to be bigger. And then once he's going to face through an opportunity, he's not going to be able even to reach it out. That was an amazing client passing next to him, but he was already dead. It's like going to a bar and start to eating with your next girlfriend, wife, right? The 10th person shouldn't suffer from the other 10 that gave you no. You should come with a full speed, with the right energy. You should be able to nail it. And this is what I learned. I learned that you can control that. You can control that subconscious. You can control this little Elad, Ricardo sitting in your mindset telling you, you can't, you are dead, you are not that, you are not able, you're not capable. You got to be able to control it. And there are different ways. For me, the way was to look at the mirror and to say, Elad, you look amazing today. You look amazing today. And to give yourself a compliment until you feel like that. I felt like shit. But it took me a few times and then I felt better. And then I go out. And then I didn't want to sell to no one yet. I used to stop an old lady, tell her, ma'am, can I ask you a question? I said, what do you want? I said, I just want to tell you something. How do you do that? Tell me what? How do you look so good? I said, oh my God, how do you look like that? She wanted to hug me. What do you want to sell me? I said, I don't want to sell you nothing. What did I want from her? Just her energy. And she gave me that natural smile. And from that smile, now I'm going to the next one. And with the next one, I'm already fully charged. And this is the thing. I mean, this is small, but you can take it to big things. You know, you go to pitch a company into a meeting room. You get no, and a no, and a no, and a no. And if you're not strong in your mind, I mean, things can get out of control very fast. And you can lose everything. I'm always saying that. But you cannot lose yourself. Because once you lose yourself, that's it. It's the end of the game. It's never the end of the game unless you lost yourself. People lost money. I had a father, that was my example. I saw my father losing everything, financially everything. I saw it. I was in this childhood. I learned that. The only thing he didn't lose was himself. So he managed at the age of 50 to regain everything and to excel. And I think that's the lesson I took from home. I knew that the game is not over until it's over completely, until you are over. So don't kill yourself.
One of the things, I was hearing you talk and I know for a fact this is true, and everybody that knows you know that it's true, because one of the first things that struck me the most as a characteristic from you when we met was that energy. Everything that everything is a pitch for you. You are talking the first time I had Trina, you said, Ricardo, you are going to love this. This is amazing. Try this. Everything you have to offer me, it's amazing. Try it. You will love it. So that type of energy, it's really transversal in everything that you do, and everybody that knows you know that everything that a food, a place, a car, a shirt. This is amazing. You are going to love it. Come on, it's
because I'll tell you something. For me, it's black and white. Or it's amazing, or it's a piece of shit.
Yeah, okay.
That's why I cannot. I'm not saying I'm a perfectionist, but I cannot live with mediocrity.
Yeah,
I cannot. It's very hard for me. So that's why.
Yeah. And you said you brought that lesson from your father and from seeing him losing everything financially, but not losing himself. Now you are in a position of comfort. Financially, success, you are looking to the opportunities, and you have 5 kids. Those 5 kids live with your opportunities and with your comfort. How are they going to create that strong mindset? What are you doing to help them create that strong mindset? Because there's that saying that the worst of times create strong people that create good times, that create weak people that create worse times. Yeah. So how are you going to because
it's a very good question. It's a very good question.
And it's a personal interest of mine because I want to do it with mine too.
Of course. So first of all, I'm not ruining them.
Okay.
Ruining them by saying that I'm not showing them that money is not a value. You know, I'm putting a value to the money and everything that we do, and I'm always pointing out the opportunity, and I'm trying to direct them in that sense. I mean, I'm not that kind of father, and I'm not saying it's good, or I'm saying what I am.
Yeah.
I'm not directing no one to no direction.
Yeah.
I'm just giving them the comfort that whatever they will do, we will be there for them, not supporting them, but being for them, believing in them, loving them. This is one thing. Put that, park it on the side. About money, I'm always pitching them about making money grow, and they need to do it. And they are not working with a credit card of mine, and we as people, we are not going with Gucci or Louis Vuitton, and with this we are trying to be as simple and humble. We drive with good cars because it's comfortable and it's important for the business, but we don't believe in this materialism. We don't. It sounds like a paradox because we are in big businesses, etc., and so on. But we do a lot. We show them what good money can do. You know, one of the things that I'm the most proud of that I did in the last 2 years, I took a group of young kids from Israel that were expelled from 7-8 schools, and I did a project called Sparrows. And I took them and I showed them every secret is there to be successful. Things that you never learn in school. Everything that you need to do from the mindset. So preparing all your mindset to be one, because you got to prepare it, because you can do things, but then your tool, your body, your mindset cannot observe it. And then everything about businesses, about money, about stock market, about investing, about every single thing. So they saw, my kids see, what good can you do with money? You know, this is. I have it here. It's Sparrows is the first I did with this group. Yeah. So here they are getting bags and laptops. Here they are meeting a master in NLP and mental coach. I mean, this is what I like to do. I think this is the purpose, and I think when the purpose is that, I mean, the drive is so big. My purpose is not in order to buy a bigger house or to buy a better car. It's really to live something very significant here. And I think that they see that. And I teach them about money. I teach them about investment. So I'm giving them, for example, pocket money. Every Friday they get pocket money. And with this pocket money, we're talking about stocks. Not every day, but I did it even through a garden lesson when we put seeds in my balcony in the COVID time, and we put tomato and we put green beans, etc., and so on. And then a few months later we had those bushes. And then when I told them about their money and I told them listen, you got to invest that money. They told me, I don't want to spend that money. I told them, we're not talking about spending, we're talking about investing. You remember those seeds that we planted? They could stay in the bag. Maybe one day they would be not useful, or they would lose their value, but they will definitely not growing anything, right?
Yeah.
Same thing about your money. And I showed them that. And I always put their mind thinking about how they grow. I never promised them that they will finish, they will get a car. When they finish, they will get that. You can screw your kids easily with that, especially when you have the access and you are, some people thinking, I want to leave each one of my children an apartment. Why? What the fuck? What, they are retarded? What, they cannot do it for themselves? You want to be there, making sure they're not going to the street? Yes, I believe in that. Yeah. But I always remember that what made my success was the fact that I wasn't given that. So why do you ruin what made you?
Yeah.
It made you. And I see friends and people giving their kids, yeah, he need that, they are basically putting all the sticks in their wheels without understanding that, because they want to compensate their childhood. I don't have any feeling like that. My daughter is talking to me about 50 euro. I'm giving that a consideration like she talked to me about 50 million.
Yeah.
We have everything that we need. We buy experiences.
Yeah.
So we are going to travel in Costa Rica for 40. That's we do.
Yeah.
We are not neglecting
Frugal
that.
And neglecting.
Exactly.
Yeah.
For example, now we are planning the next trip that we will do will be 1 year, but it will be 1 year not just going to resorts, but 1 year of volunteering in different places, Indonesia, Bali, Africa. So they will experience the place through the local community, and they will understand what money can do. And this is crazy. People always think about cars and watches and things. It's nice. It's nice to have. But once they see, when I started with all those kids that I took, I started my pitch, and I'm talking about making money and success and wealth. And then I showed them at the end a movie about an entrepreneur called Sivania Ali. She has an amazing project in Africa called Innovation Africa. She is fucking amazing, okay? She connected more than 1.8 million people to water, fresh water, and electricity from doing just because she wanted to do, okay? So she went, she saw what's needed, she went to study the thing, and then she came, she brought the Israeli technology of water and energy, etc., and so on, and miracle happened, okay? And always when I pitch about the money, I'm ending up with this movie. Because I don't want you to think that I'm here to tell you that you should be successful to buy a better car. Yes, you should have amazing quality of life, for sure. But look at what you can do with money. That is fucking huge. That is huge. And when they see that, it talks to everyone. Because some of them want to make money, but some of them say, I just want to be a painter. Okay, be a painter. But you want to know about the things that, what can we do? Run a lot of decisions that we make in life, right? Where you live, what you eat, how you get treated when you go to the medical. I mean, everything. So it's super important for everyone. And I think that in Portugal as a country, you miss it more than Israel, for sure, in terms of financial education.
We have none.
None, and not only you have none,
we have one. Yeah, but a lot of bad advices and bad beliefs.
Not only that, I think that as a country, a lot of people do not believe in themselves as they should have. I mean, there are so many talented people, they don't aspire to that. They don't aim to that. They say, I want to have a good work, I want to have a good this, I want to have a good that.
Well, yeah.
Bagasso.
Well, it's interesting. Let me just see if everything is recording fine. So here it's good. And here it's good also. Okay. Just check. Okay. So it's interesting because in Portugal, we also come from hardship. We never have anything easy here. We have been trying to be conquered by the Spaniards for a long time. They came here and they ruled this for 60 years. Then we throw them out. And then we have a dictatorship for the longest dictatorship in Europe. I'm not sure if the world, but 40 plus years of dictatorship and people living hard lives. And my grandfather had meat only once a week in the soup in Sunday and half a sardine for everybody. And so we come from that hardship, but I don't recognize that drive to get out of this.
No.
I'm not sure if it was so many years in a situation where they stopped you from doing that because the dictatorship, they stumbled and stopped it from doing that, or if it's another cultural thing, because we were the guys that in our most moment of need, we said, well, let's go and conquer Ceuta and Tangier and we become the boats and we are going to find the maritime route to India and we bring the spices and we go to Brazil. So we have that in our DNA. We have that creativity.
I think the dictatorship also did a lot of damage to that creativity, obviously.
That creativity because, and of course, like in financial education, we have none in school. We don't know about money. We don't know how to even fill an IRS form. We have nothing about investment, nothing about stock markets. Absolutely no. Even in college, we have a little bit, but not, and nobody gets out of the basic education knowing how to manage money.
I think that I heard a wonderful podcast one time. There is an Israeli that it's called Yossi Ginsburg, and it's a true story. It was a movie after that. It's called Back to Tuichi. He lost in the Amazons. He got lost, and he was like 3 weeks surviving in the Amazon by himself. I mean, the things he've been through, and then there was a movie with Daniel Radcliffe.
Yeah.
Amazing. And he says, you cannot prepare to tackle a bear, okay? I can tell you, let's do a preparation to tackle a bear. You cannot do that. And many people live in that feeling that there is a bear in the room, but it's not a bear. Once there will be a bear in the room, you will know what to do. What I'm trying to tell you is that many people are convenient and they were not against the wall. Once you are against the wall, or if you see a bear at the end, you have 3 things to do, or you're going to fight it, probably not. You're going to run it, or you're going to fight.
Yeah.
But it's not a situation you can imagine. You can only be there and you change. So I think that for many people it was convenient being convenient. Yeah. But then there was an inflation. And then the prices of real estate guys skyrocketing. And people think that the solution will be that there will be a reduction of the prices, for example. Yeah. The inflation will stop, the war will stop. But look, what is common to all those things? Those are external things.
Something outside of me.
That's nothing to do with you. What you gonna do? Because if the war will stop, wonderful for all. Yeah. If the inflation will drop, amazing. If the prices will drop, amazing. But what do you do? Yeah. And the people always like to look out of the window and not in the mirror. Look in the mirror. And that is the problem. And I'm seeing a lot of Portuguese many times when they see that I have 5 kids and they tell me, oh, you have 5 kids. And I tell them, how much you have? They tell me, 1, oh, I don't have the money. And they always connect it, and I understand. I understand the contact between money and kids, but I'm thinking differently. I'm saying, it's again the chicken and the egg. Yeah. Do the kids are a bless.
Yeah.
First of all, they are a bless. Second, they will push you
to get more.
Yeah. You have to. When you are by yourself, you have kids. Now you have responsibility. Yeah. You need to work hard. You cannot go lazy with that. So don't connect those 2 things. And I think that people need to think about that. They look at the small thing and missing the big picture. Yeah, there will be a raise. Oh, from 700 to 800 to 900 to... Oh, I will save in this. This is nice, but this is nothing. This is residual. What you can do is big, and this everyone can do. Yeah. But they need to want it. It needs to come from they need to, first of all, stop looking outside. Stop looking outside. Nothing is the fault to what they are having today. I think I don't know who said it, maybe Warren Buffett. He said, it's not your fault if you born poor, but it's your fault if you die one.
Yeah.
Okay? So The circumstances are irrelevant. I had my circumstances, they were shit. But I went, I worked, I saw an opportunity, I wanted more for myself, so I opened my own company and I took a risk. And I took a risk. Taking a risk, it's something that is not many people like to do. They like to be in their comfort zone. And they don't understand it. They need to ask themselves also, what is the worst thing that can happen? Remind me again. The worst. The worst. What? I can start all over. But I still have myself. And myself is the one that brought me to what I had, right? So I can do it again. Unless I'm 75, I'm not saying let's do it all over again. But
well, there have been some businessmen that started something
for sure.
At 75. And
For sure. But again, not easy.
Yeah.
But
what is the thing that you, financially speaking, when you talk to those young guys, and the Portuguese people is, as a general, less financially educated than those guys that you talked about, what is the most important things that you see that you can say to someone that can make the difference financially? Well, they can look at their money and say, because many people say, well, I only have, well, most of people have nothing to invest because they spend it all or more than what they have. But for those that have a little bit of savings, like 1,000, 2,000, 5,000 euros, what can they do that actually makes a difference? So how can they look at that and say, well, this is a good investment for my money? What do we need?
First of all, the mindset should come from a different thing, that you don't do your life only from the savings of work, but investments will definitely multiply everything that you have, and working alongside yourself. I mean, if you are the only one working, it's not a fair game.
Okay.
You should work, and the money should work hard as possible. Yeah. And there is a lot of things to say about that. Of course, there are so many rules in investing and what not to do. But starting with the first one is don't lose it.
Yeah.
Okay? It sounds simple. Don't lose it. Of course, nobody wants to lose the money. But if you go and you put it in your mind and you say, don't lose it, so you choose your investments and you always put that in your state mind, or you take a lawyer to protect you and you don't try to save that, a little bit of money on that. I mean, at the end of the day, that will make you money. I mean, if you're going to invest it and grow with it. And if I take, for example, the Portuguese state of mind on that, many people, for example, look for they're talking about real estate. Let's talk about real estate because this is a very common topic, and this is one of the most important decisions someone takes on his lifetime. Yeah. And it's something that if you take it right, you can change your life course in an instant. Yeah. But if you take it wrong, you don't do nothing. Or if you don't take it, it's worse, of course. Better take it. So many people in Portugal want to live in their own house, right? Yes. They want to be the owner of their property. Yeah. Be an owner of a property, it's amazing. It's a goal. Must have. It's not a question. But be the owner of the house where you live in is not necessarily the best. Okay. Not necessarily the best. Because when you choose your house, you look at so many different characteristics that has nothing to do with a good investment necessarily. You want to be close to school, you want the kitchen to look like that, you want the view, and you want to have that wind. You want to be closer to your parents, you want to be in a certain neighborhood in order to be in a certain social standard, etc., and so on, right? But when you look at investment, none of that is important. You only look about how the investment is. And that is already a different mindset, right? Because if I have 20,000 and I want to buy my house and I live in Porto, it's impossible, right? So I'm saying I cannot use that equity, that money that I have to buy a house. Yeah. What does it mean? That you cannot own real estate? No. It means that you cannot own real estate here, but you can own a real estate somewhere else. And that 20 can grow into 30 or 35 or 40. And how long it will take you with hard work to gain that? Woo! Esquece, right? But then you think about, wow, that is 10, 20K. But when you come to work, you're fighting about the 100 euro, 150 raise, if they're going to raise the minimum. This is bullshit. This is bullshit. This is for the 90%. If you want to be in the 10%, you look at the things from different perspective. Not what others can do to you, what you can do to yourself with your little bit. So take that small money and try to grow it. Yeah. And it will grow much faster than you can grow yourself. And it's amazing because it works by itself. Somebody told me once about real estate is that it's better than kids because you don't need to make them grow, they grow by themselves. Yeah. And another thing in real estate is that you don't need to wait to buy, but you buy and wait. And this is a true phenomena, even for Portugal that suffered a great crisis. If you look at 2007, the prices, and you look at today, I mean, real estate will always, people need a place to live. That's a fact. That's the basic of the Maslow law, right? They need the confidence, they need a house. And then it goes to all the others. So this is one thing. The other thing is learn everything about anything that you want to invest in. Even in 1,000 euro or 2,000, you can invest in the stock market. Yeah. But people are afraid of the stock market. They think it's speculative. It's risky, right? Yeah. But it's also risky to open a restaurant if you don't know the business. It's also risky to go and cross the road. Everything is risky if you don't know nothing about it. But if you look at it from a business point of view, stock market, for example, is an opportunity for people to be a partner with a company that they could never be partner of. If Mark Zuckerberg called you tomorrow and tell you, Ricardo, come join me, you would say no. I mean, one of the richest people in the world, the success, is telling you. How does he tell you? Buy the stock. Good time, not good time. In the last 100 years, the S&P 500 did 10% annually. Yeah. So you protect your money. But when you don't do nothing, the money degrades its power, of course, because there is constant inflation, things cost more, but your money do nothing. So whether it's 1,000, and I teach it to kids, I mean the small kids, when they see that the money can grow, if they buy an iPhone, it doesn't grow. Yeah. I'm showing them a car, the car loses it. I'm always putting a light on that. Yeah. That's my way with my kids, putting a light on the things. I'm not thinking for them, just, what do you think about this business? And putting another angle to that. And then it's opening their mind, they're asking questions. You understand?
Where can people go to learn about the... So, one thing is to go to a broker and say, I want to invest my money in a type of basket that emulates the S&P 500, and so it's that. So, but where can they get good information? Because
first of all, they need to remember that the big money is not where they focus. This is the small money. The small, not disregarding that. I'm respecting every euro. I'm just saying that people are, I'm always saying that in Hebrew, but people are fighting over, comparing the TV that they will buy. This one is 50 euro less, this is 30 euro less. They are so intelligent in that. They go to Quanto Custa and they say, this is I can bring it from China for 10 euro less, I can do that. On that, there are miracles. But on the big money, on their mortgage, how many people know how much they signed for? Or what is the small fees they are paying? Yeah. How many people know how much they pay for insurances? Which is huge money accumulated and compounded for 25 years. Mm. And how many people knows how to invest their money? Or knows about stock market, companies, real estate? I mean, this is where the money is. Yeah. So, again, it's a fact. 10% of the population holds 90% of the money. Yeah. There is a reason why. It's not because they didn't make a bigger salary. It's because they fought about the big things. Yeah. And let the small things be small things. I'm not saying it's not important, but don't make it sacred.
Don't waste the majority of your time on that and not on the other.
Exactly.
Do you know good places in Portuguese for people to learn about that?
I don't know nothing in Portuguese, I have to say.
Or in English. But
in English,
it's in Hebrew.
In English, yeah, for sure, for sure. I mean, in English, it's so broad. But I think that I'll tell you two things. First of all, I think that people should work, first of all, on themselves, on their mindset. Yeah. to be different, to think different, to think about, to see how they grasp the word money. If I tell you, what do you think about money? And I want to hear those people need to look at the mirror and to see what they hear when they say, what do I think about money? And if the answer is not amazing, is not positive, then they don't need to learn about anything about investment and anything about anything. They need to learn how to think differently about money. Because one day they're going to start seeing money as a positive thing, as an amazing thing, as something to embrace. All the good things it can do in life, not the bad things. Because usually they say, this guy is corrupted, this guy, they put all the right reasons why this guy is successful and they are not.
Yeah.
Again, looking out of the window, not in the mirror.
Yeah.
But this is the way to stay small. The way to stay big is to ask the right question. If you only ask the right questions, you get the right answers. There is no, you know it, there is no way out.
Yeah.
So you tell me about people, how can they learn? First of all, they need to start by asking the right questions. For example, how do I learn about money? How do I learn what is my current state of mind about money? By the way, there is an amazing book I can recommend for sure, this anybody should read, is A Millionaire Mindset.
Yeah.
Millionaire Mindset by Herb T.
Becker. Yeah.
It's my Bible. For me, it's a Bible. It's written so well and it's so accurate that at the moment that I read it, I was 35, I think. I think that was a game changer for me in my mindset. Okay, I was cooked. That was the final dish.
Yeah.
So this is the basic. First of all, to start with that, you know why? Because if they start with thinking about investments, but their mindset is completely off that, is completely against money, and they think that money is evil, and money is wrong, and money is only corrupted, and money is that. So how can you say something like that about me and you want me to come? Fuck you.
Yeah.
You know? That's it.
Yeah.
So think good about me, welcome me,
Yeah. And then
I'll come.
Yeah.
I'm coming. And opportunities is out there.
Did you find here in Portugal, well, I'm sure that you told us about things that you liked in Portugal, about the opportunities and all of those things. What did you find in Portugal that you didn't like? What is in the Portuguese culture, people, places that you were not happy about?
Well, I actually, I lived in many countries.
Yeah.
And I live in Spain, in Belgium, in England, in the US. I love Portugal. I think that it's one of the best places to live in the world, for sure. I think that it's very traditional. There is a good sense to it. It's a lot of respect to tradition, and I love it. And I learned a lot from that, because, in Israel, we always, we like the next thing, And this is, I think it's a bit wrong. And it's beautiful, and I learned that from the Portuguese culture. I think that in a general, only that I see a lot of things that are more of the same, but again, I cannot do anything about them besides making an impact of my own.
Yeah.
So, and I think I also see it as the opportunity.
Yeah.
Because many people don't want to make a big change when it's come to tradition. But sometimes they don't understand that it can be this and that, and not this or that.
Yeah.
And I always live in this and that. It's one of the ways, by the way. It's not, okay, but I'm working now. No, you can work and you can learn something. It's this and that.
Yeah.
No, but I have 5 kids. No, but I have so many projects. No, but I have this, Again, you can do this and that.
Yeah.
Just prioritize and take it easy and breathe. And you can do this and that. I really don't have a single thing that I don't like about this country. Maybe the local government that is trying to be over-populist with this latest announcement and decisions about what's going to happen in real estate. But we take the good with the bad. I mean, if there's going to be any changes, it's also going to be an opportunity on the other side.
That was what I was going to ask you, because I remember a long time ago when we talked about this, and people think that the Portugal is very slow, very bureaucratic, the permission takes a long time, and that is one of the problems with the real estate. Well, not one of the problems. One of the situations of the real estate is because they are much more trying to buy than the ones that are trying to sell, and the ones that are trying to sell are not building more because it takes a long time to build and to get permissions and to get approval. I just
saw it yesterday on the news. There was like from 2000 to 2010 there was 900,000 apartments being constructed.
Yeah.
And from 2010 until today, you know how many?
Yeah, like
169. Yeah. So it's like 6 times more were built in the last.
And in the 2000s were even more. The drop is like 86% from year 2000 and 56% from 2011 or something like that.
So what do I think about it? First of all, remember I'm coming from a different country, and again, this is the things you see from here you don't see from there, as they say. And it is very slow, and it becomes very bureaucracy and very bureaucratic, but it's still much better than what they know in Israel, for example.
Yeah.
So you know, I cannot complain when I'm saying that. There is a lot to be done. There is a lot to be done, and I think that the government should listen more to the entrepreneurs, because they are the one on the field. They know how to move things in a business, and not with all the different committees, etc., and so on, that will take a lifetime and will never make a change.
Yeah.
There is a lot of ways to help people how to be better and to have their house, etc., and so on. But I think, and it takes me back to where I want to be with my mindset. Yeah. I don't want to ask the wrong question, is when the prices will drop. I want to ask a different question, is how do I make myself able to buy, even if the prices will double? This is where I want to put my mindset to. Now, if the prices will drop, amazing opportunity.
Perfect.
Amazing, even works better for you. But this is what you want to wait for?
That's what I tell my wife. The answer is always earn more money.
It's always the answer. It's always the answer. So how do I make more? It's never where do I reduce, how do I make more?
Yeah, we make more money and the problem goes away. So there's no problem. Yeah.
It's more easy.
Yeah. Do you see yourself, so you were talking about you spent quite a few time in Costa Rica, and you were talking about doing worldwide volunteering event about a year. Do you see yourself staying in Portugal, or is this another stepping stone to another country that you will move on?
No, eventually I think that this will always be a base, and we will not, I'm not seeing myself exploring now other countries. I did it for the last 20 years. It was very nice, but you know, the kids are big. Yeah. I have almost 17 years old now, and everybody's in a different phase, different way. One of them might go to the army in Israel, so then it will change the life of all of us. So
it's still mandatory?
It's mandatory. Not really mandatory for her if she lives here, but mandatory for every Israeli to go to the army. Yes, and we won't.
That was what I was going to say.
For me,
it's a personal desire.
Also, it's a lesson of giving. You know, you cannot only take. This is what you give to the country. That's what you give, and it's wonderful.
Yeah.
I did it for 4 years. Nothing happened. I got only better.
Yeah.
So people are thinking about, you know, spending time. This is another very interesting thing here. By the way, this is a very big lesson for everybody here. Also, you know, Portuguese, but not Portuguese. Everybody that wants to be academic. You know, they want to finish the study and then they want to go to college. But they don't know nothing about themselves. They go to study something, they don't know shit about themselves. They go only because the parents want them to go and the society expects them to do. And what do you study and what did she do? But they are kids. They don't know nothing about themselves. Nothing. So first of all, they need to go and learn about themselves, who they are, what they like, what they want, what they don't like. Not less important, what they don't like.
Yeah.
And then everything will wait.
Yeah, that gap year that they take in Sweden or Nordic countries is very important.
We always, after the army in Israel, majority of the people go to travel in South America, in India, in whatever, in Australia, 5-6 months, clean the mind, thinking, then going to college only when they are 22, 23. If they are very much keen, they go before, but usually people, I never did, but thinking about the other people's story. And that's what I'm telling my kids. Don't rush. Where do you go? Where do you go? I mean, first of all, learn who you are. people learn 5 years about being a physiotherapist, and they understand they don't want nothing to do with that. They did it only because their grandfather did it in Kuf.
Yeah.
Irrelevant. Learn about money.
Yeah.
It's gonna be more.
Elad,
All
thank
the
you
best.
very much.
Yeah,
thank
welcome.
you very much.
I hope that
that you have a lot of success. I hope that I'm there to see it and to myself of you and to give you cheers on your success. And I think one of the biggest mistakes in Portuguese history, in Portugal, I've told this to you. I think that one of the biggest mistakes that we did was when we drive out the Jewish community in the 16th century, 14th, 15th century.
500 years ago.
Yeah, 500 years ago we did that, and I think that was one of our biggest mistakes, because the driving force that I see, the entrepreneurship driving force, the creativity, the business mindset, those strong mindsets that we have, that we lacked upon so many from those 500 years forward, that were so important in the times of the nautical discoveries, because a lot of people were Jewish that were also helping on those things. I think that was a big mistake, and we see that those peoples moved from here to Flanders, to the Netherlands, and we see the Netherlands and we see Portugal, and I think that there's no doubt where there is more entrepreneurship. So I'm very, very happy that a lot of Israeli Jewish people are coming to Portugal, are investing here, because we definitely need that energy, and it's going to be amazing to have you here.
Thank you
very
so much. Appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, brother.